Every economy consists of two sectors, organized sector and unorganized sector. Organized sector refers to large companies, multinational companies, well established companies. They are all very well established and all have very well defined policies, programs, procedures. Unorganized sector consists of very small cottage industries, informal groups, those people who are working. There is always a struggle between organized and unorganized sector. Organized sector dominates. All important policies are influenced by organized sector. When the government is preparing plans, the organized sector is able to give its representation because it is very systematic and it is able to represent itself in a very well coherent manner. When the government is preparing budget, the organized sector is able to represent its demands during budget formation. The government is preparing any issue, any planning, there is representation from the organized sector. Not just in government, in other sectors also. For example, organized sector is represented in universities, educational institutions. So universities prepare their curriculum as per the demand of the organized sector. The organized sector sends its representatives to the board of studies of various universities. So that's why you can find universities running courses which are required by the organized sector. For example, petroleum and natural gas exploration is mostly in organized sector. So you can find a course in universities related to petroleum and oil exploration. But the organized sector is not able to represent itself neither in universities, nor in colleges, nor in any educational institution, nor in any other forum. Organized sector has various forums. For example, you can find Chamber of Commerce, you can find Chamber of Industry, and you can find various bodies. But the unorganized sector does not have any mode of representation. The tyranny is, the paradox is that the organized sector is giving employment to 10-15% people, while the unorganized sector is giving employment to 80% people, 70% people, 80% people. So the unorganized sector is major employment giver. These are the people who struggle for survival. They are not able to represent themselves, they are not able to echo their voice, they are not able to organize themselves. They are busy from morning to evening just for their bread and butter. For them, survival is very difficult. Although the government say that they would keep in mind the requirements of the unorganized sector and they would take up such policies which would help unorganized sector. But the problem is the governments also work on the advice of some planners. And who are these planners? These are economists. And they have never been into unorganized sector. They are also part of organized sector. They are working in organized sector and they are also influenced by organized sector. The economists also emulate the economic development model which has been adopted by developed countries like America. So they believe that the path that American economy has taken or the path that other developed economies have taken will also be suitable to developing country like India. And their education, their upbringing is also in that environment. Thereby, they are also in a way inclined towards developing organized sector. The unorganized sector continues to receive, you can say, it doesn't receive any attention from government, it doesn't receive any attention from policy makers, economists, and everybody thinks that it is unwanted. Everybody wants to convert the unorganized sector into organized sector as soon as possible. Entire research R&D is for organized sector. Large multinational companies dominate the research institutions. For example, if there is any research institution, the R&D department in that research institution, whether it may be any institution or it may be research center, anything, the R&D department would take the research requirements from large multinational companies and would take them into account and would take up research projects which would help the large organized players. It will further provide its research findings to the organized players and thereby helping the organized sector further. Organized sector is able to get resources much cheaper, because if a big industry is coming, the government may allocate land at subsidized rate. For large universities, the government may allocate its own land free. Manpower is also available. Quality manpower, highly qualified, highly skilled manpower is available at lower competitive prices, because everybody wants to work in organized sector. Nobody wants to work in unorganized sector. So the unorganized sector is at a disadvantage. But there is another fact. The unorganized sector is working for its survival. They work passionately, they work to their best. They are not the best manpower, they are not the best skilled people, they don't have very high qualification. But for them, their survival is at stake. Therefore, they put in their best efforts. And that is the reason why maximum research budget is allocated to organized sectors research, but maximum innovations take place at unorganized sector. And these innovations are not recognized also. These innovations are not given support also. This unorganized sector is a source of innovation, ideas, but their ideas, their innovations are not recognized, and the unorganized sector is not able to go for intellectual property or anything like that. They don't go for patents, they don't go for any such technology registrations. So the unorganized sector, although is a very highly innovative sector, is not able to get its due rewards. The unorganized sector will continue to play a very important role. It is a major employer. It's a backbone of the economy, but the problem is neither the policymakers nor the governments recognize the importance of the unorganized sector. Everybody feels that we must develop organized sector. Nobody talks about unorganized sector. There is a need of initiatives to support unorganized sector. If someone can come up, the basic purpose of this lecture that I am talking to you, my address to you, is to encourage some entrepreneurs, to encourage some social innovators, social entrepreneurs to come forward and establish a support system for unorganized sector. If unorganized sector is given equal support to that of the organized sector, I can assure you, unorganized sector would remove the poverty altogether. It will bring prosperity. It will bring happiness. If you are pumping money into organized sector, how much people are going to be affected directly? 10%, 15%. If you just give support system and don't create problems for unorganized sector, the unorganized sector can bring happiness to 80% people. And remember, at present, there are only hurdles everywhere. Unorganized sector is receiving hurdles, problems everywhere. They know they have to survive, and therefore they are taking up every hurdle positively. But if we can create systems which can support organized sectors, we can bring smiles to this planet. Everybody would be happy. Let's think about an organized sector.